Levi from InterNACHI Marketing here again. Today we're going to go over another letterform logo. So I'll start here with the Under Armour logo, which started over here with this example, and then eventually moved over to this newer updated design. The first thing about this design, what is being communicated by the U over the A, is the concept of under. So by stacking the letters one on top of the other, they're already conveying part of the word. So the image serves to reinforce, like the way the letters are arranged, serves to reinforce the company name itself, which is Under Armour. And as always, it got more simple, it got more bold, the fonts used improved and got a little bit heavier, so they hold up better to scaling over time. Alright, so that's just a bit about that example, and today we're going to talk about Harmony Home Inspections, which is the logo I made last week. So part of the process in logo design is sort of getting your visual sources together, and the starting point for this, and what was referenced in the questionnaire the inspector sent, was kind of the idea of balance and also the idea of notes to tie into the harmony theme. So with a logo and thinking through a logo, like clear visual ideas can help simplify the logo process. With a logo design, a picture is worth 1,000 words. You can write a bunch of words and get something that doesn't look anything like what you thought, but a couple of images can really help move the process along and clarify the direction. This can go wrong in that you can send hundreds of images that have no clear relationship to one another, and then all of a sudden you're back in the same position as having too many words where like just nothing is being communicated and it's kind of unclear. So having like a quick and limited starting point is a good place for a logo to begin. With the word harmony, I actually kerned these letters a bit closer together. So in some ways, in some places where it makes sense, they're kind of linked. So the whole word flows together and also kind of reflects the concept of harmony. I also went with like the more traditional, like centered directly above the text here because it made sense with the concept. The arrangement of having everything stacked perfectly in a line sort of fit with the idea of harmony. With this specific logo design, there's a lot going on with like the negative space, in that the H is formed using the bottom half of the note, but then is inverted in the top to sort of reflect sort of this kind of movement and the inversion and the yin and yang concept. So like intentional use of like thinking through how you're using like both positive and negative space, which is the gaps in the solid shapes, can make a logo more dynamic. Usually the least interesting thing is usually your first thought. Your first go-to idea in logo design usually is not your best one. So usually it benefits from sort of working through the idea a little bit more, and then you can kind of get this note and you get the top of the H and then you get the house embedded in the H. So that's a lot of layers for an image. So it just makes the image more interesting than say like a capital H. This would also work. It's just not as dynamic and interesting and doesn't connect as well with the word harmony. Like sort of the H used in harmony here connects well with the caps in the letter here. So the fonts and the graphic are tied together sort of by the shapes used. The shapes rounded here and here also are reflected in the lower letters of home inspections. So it's just a way of thinking through how the logo works as a whole and how the logo holds up to scaling, and just whether the fonts and the image relate well together. Anyway, thanks for your time. If you need any more help from us, you can get a hold of us at marketing.nachi.org.